Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Mark. Welcome to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective. How y'all doing? Hello. Hope y'all are doing good. I'm doing all right. I'm here. That's what I always say. I'm here. Y'all know that's like my tagline at this point, my slogan. I am here. I am here. I am here. I think that I've been saying this over the past few days. I'm actually rather grateful, not because anything particularly amazing is going on in the present day, but just because my life is amazing. The fact that I'm actually here, and the fact that I'm doing the things that I am doing with my life is amazing, because statistically I shouldn't be. Because I don't know the statistics. There's not a lot of people in this world who actually experience agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is, like, to me, one of the worst things. And I know I'm not even trying to play a comparison game, but because I know that there's all kinds of different things that people have. But just in terms of behavioral health, mental health, the worst thing that I can remember in my life was going through that period of just persistent panic attacks where even in my own room, I didn't feel safe. The panic attacks were constant and often. And there's nothing I could do to stop them. I remember when I first got prescribed Xanax. That helped me for a little bit, and then it didn't help me at all. It was just a rough time. It was a really rough time. So I remember during that time, I said to myself, I've been so ungrateful with my life. I would give anything just to be able to just do basic things again. Leaving my house every day. Being able to interact with people. Going back to the gym. Doing some kind of job that makes me feel like I'm some kind of productive member of society. It was just doing these basic things that I'm doing now. I never thought that I would do those things again, ever in my life. Hit the like button, by the way, if you jumped on here. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Anyways, fast forward to now. I want to say that I kind of beat agoraphobia. I beat the game. 90%. Because to a degree, I believe that, once you experience something like that, it does live with you for the duration of your life. It's just like physical injuries. I've told this story before. I'm not even going to go through the whole story, but I injured both of my wrists in the weight room when I was in college. And I remember going through 6 months of physical therapy each. I did my right hand first. And I remember walking around with this cast. I had to start writing with my left hand. It was that painful. But anyways, I remember when they did an evaluation. They do like an evaluation at the beginning when you first come into physical therapy. Then they evaluate you every, depends, 6 weeks maybe. And then at the end of the evaluation, they gave me a last evaluation maybe 90 days after my first one, or I don't know. I don't remember exact dates, but whatever the case is, I had a beginning evaluation and a last evaluation. And after they finished my last evaluation, they were like, "Great, you've made a great recovery. This is my sorry for 2004. Not gonna mess up no more." Okay, sorry about that delay. Yeah, so I guess at the end of the physical therapy, they said, "Okay, you're good to go. You've made a good recovery, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "But my wrists, they still hurt." Hi, Judy. They still hurt. And they were like, the physical therapist was like, "Well, physical therapy is not necessarily to make something stop hurting." I'm like, "Then what is it for? What am I coming here for?" And they said, "We have certain benchmarks or something, like we did the grip strength test and the flexibility test and the this test, and these were your numbers when you started, and these are your numbers now. And once we get to these numbers, that proves that you don't need the service anymore, unfortunately." And I'm like, "That's not right." Mind you, I was like probably 19 at the time and had never been to physical therapy in my life. Maybe 20, 21 actually. And then the physical therapist was like, "You know how you take a rubber band and you stretch the rubber band, and a certain rubber bands are strong and they don't snap. That's your wrist. It's like your wrist, you didn't tear any ligaments, you didn't snap a ligament or tendon or anything like that. It just stretched it. So the elasticity in your wrist is never going to be the same, and it's always going to have some pain." And I was like, that's my outlook. But it's the truth. The last 4 days I've been wearing my wrist brace because some days it feels like 90% good. 90% is probably about the best it feels, to where I don't even really feel like it had that injury. But then other days it's like 50-40%. The difference now is that I don't try to be a hero on those days. When it feels bad, I just wrap it up. I put some ice on it, I wrap it up, I take some Motrin, and I'm like, it's probably going to take a few days for this to reset and feel better again. I feel like mental health trauma is kind of like that too. Sometimes I feel even a little bit of anxiety even speaking about it, but I speak about it for a living anyways. So yeah, the issue is, sorry, I was thinking of two things at once. Okay, I wasn't saying the issue. What I was trying to say is that getting through a mental health trauma is amazing, but I feel like it's still there. It's still always there, underlying a little bit. It comes out in different ways, but getting to a point of where I'm saying I feel like 80 to 90% cured of agoraphobia, I think is probably a big success. And then on top of that, to now live in a way that for the past 12 to 13 years of my life, the past 12 to 13 years of my life, I've been able to work in the mental health field and help a lot of other people who go through similar things. I think makes me a great success. And that's why when I'm tempted to not feel grateful for the things that I'm doing in my life right now, I think back to that time and I say, I am actually way beyond where I thought that I would be at that time. Now, am I where I thought I would be when I was 18, 19, 20? No, I thought I would be in a different space, a different place in my life when I was like 18, 19, or 20 or whatever. But why is this traffic not moving? Ooh. But it could be worse. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Appreciate you. Judy. I'm jumping off now because I'm just getting to work. But please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank you and have an amazing day.